think it's going to be a pretty good one here. I think these teams are both pretty close. I think, New York has the edge. I can't really remember what they called, actually, off the top of my head. No, it was pretty close. At this stage of the bracket, at least. Probably bound to be. Yeah, they were right next to each other. Seed 12 and seed 13.
Yep. So both of these teams looking quite comfortable in their first matches, New York taking it 6-0 and Connecticut taking theirs 6-1 for their initial matches in the stage. But yeah, tell me a little bit about these teams. What are they strong at? What are they weak at?
So it's going to be New York. When I think of New York, I think of they are a really good hidden team. They want to pick hidden. They have Teague, who's been there for multiple years. Really good hidden player. But even the rest of the team, like, they had a really good team score on the hidden 1, Trust Nothing But Love, where they got 2.3 mil. And then on the hidden 2 as well, they got 2 mil team score. And in the hidden 3, they got 1.8 mil team score. So they're a very strong hidden team. They also like hard rock. No mods and free mods are kind of their jam. I don't know if they'll pick out. They can play DTs all right, but I don't think it's their strong suit. And then Connecticut is more so a DT team. They do like the hard rock as well. They like tapping. They're a good tapping team, but they also have a lot of good gimmick players, like Smokey, like Mako, Miwano Orin. So they're pretty well rounded as well. I think I definitely give the edge on some maps to New York, but some maps I'd give the edge to Connecticut. So it should be a really good match.
All right. So it looks like we're looking at Geek and New York in general on these hidden picks, and more of a mechanics heavy team for Connecticut. Would that be right?
I agree.
All right. Well, we will be getting right into roles and pick and bans. For bans, given we see that sort of duality of reading / gimmick versus mechanics, I would think that the bans are pretty obvious here. Maybe we'll see like an easy ban from Connecticut. Maybe a hidden 2 ban as well from Connecticut, although I wouldn't be surprised to see hidden 1 and hidden 2 bans from them, given those scores that New York set in their first match of the round.
Yeah, absolutely. I think banning hidden against this New York team is pretty... You can't really go wrong with it. But it is going to be the easy 1 banned out by Connecticut, which also makes plenty of sense to me.
Yeah, of course. Easy 1, another reading gimmick. This one as well, a little bit longer than the easies in previous rounds. So not something that you can really get by simply memorizing the map. You really do have to have fluency on that low AR reading. But it will be 2 quick bans coming out from the side of New York, Hard Rock 2 and DT3. So Hard Rock 2, the tapping, high CS, high AR mechanics, and DT3 as well, that 210 BPM stamina pick also being banned out. It will be the hidden 2 ban to round out the bans for Connecticut as well. So hidden 1 still in the pool. As you mentioned earlier, putting up a 2.3 million score, I believe last night it was, you said?
Yeah, when they played last night, or could have been Friday night, but their last match they had, yeah.
It is the first pick for Connecticut though, so they will have to play, New York will have to play at least 1 map before they're allowed to try and pick that hidden 1. What do you think we'll see from Connecticut here? Because you mentioned the DTs. What will be the DT2 pick before you can even make any sort of prediction?
Yeah, I think they want to go straight into mechanics, especially with speed, is what I venture that Connecticut is trying to use as their main driving force to win this match.
Right. Well, this is speed for sure, 248 BPM bursts. So if it's speed they want, then this is certainly a solid pick, first pick to open up the match with from Connecticut.
I completely agree.
And perhaps later on we could also see a no mod 5 pick as well. Connecticut do have data on the New York's performance on that. New York scoring just under 1.5 million in their previous match on that map. So if they're feeling like they could do better than that and better than any potential improvements from New York, then maybe we'll see them pick that second as well.
I'll just say it right now. I'm 100% expecting that to be picked by Connecticut. Connecticut got 2.4 million team score on that map in their match.
Okay.
So there's a very high chance that they're going to try and pick this no mod.
Well, before we get to that, it will be the DT2, 1 minute and 50 seconds, I believe it was, or maybe it was 1 minute and 21. Either way, it's a very short map, less than 2 minutes long, full of 248 BPM triples and quints with a little bit of a touch of finger control as well. But the other surprisingly difficult part of this map does actually come in the high BPM aim. There's not a lot of high spacing aim in this, but it's a lot of small spacing aim, but it can catch you off sometimes, as it will have the occasional random switch up in the spacing.
1 minute 42 seconds of range, so it is the second shortest map in the pool, right? I mean, the shortest map is ET4, but it's still quite short at that 142. Can swing over very quickly.
Yep, so you really have to be comfortable on just being able to set a good score and not find any weird random breaks here. Of course, this being the Major League, I don't think these players will mess up that badly on this. Like, if they're comfortable, if Connecticut is comfortable enough to pick this first, which they definitely are as they're showing right here, then I wouldn't expect any weird random breaks, but we've seen weirder things happen. Of course, tournament nerves, very real. But we are getting right into the action here. A little bit of a slow section at the start, but we should be seeing those bursts right away as there is the first quint. And we're right into the action.
Yep, so far, accuracy is on the side of Connecticut with mouse supremacy. Looks like holding 100% SS, but finds a break as well as Mako, even no Orin. So it's just 2 FCs to 1. The 1 FC of Smokey left on the side of Connecticut.
Leaving finding a break earlier and finding another break on a miss aim towards the bottom right of the screen. But yeah, 2 full combos for Connecticut here. Going to be trying to pull a score lead, but...
Well, it's 2 full combos for New York. It's Geegan more, but their accuracies are so poor that it's very back and forth right now.
All the way down at 92%, and Moore is going to break on the slow section, finding a miss aim perhaps. And that is going to be the combo, or the score lead, swiftly going in the favor of Connecticut here, as mouse supremacy on a very nice recovery. Smokey's still holding on to that full combo from the start as we enter this last half of the map here, slowly ramping up in difficulty once again. Smokey's going to find a miss aim on the linear wide angles though. As we enter this last section, mouse supremacy still holding on to the recovery, but is geeked to match and even surpass them with a higher combo. Lower accuracy still means that the score is slow to flip, but that combo game, as the time continues to go, it will flip the score in the favor of New York, as Geek is holding on to an incredible combo here. Smokey want to find another break here, and this could be a break point for New York.
It's very much
the song is incredibly short.
Yeah, the song is basically over, just 5 seconds left. Geek breaks at the end, but it doesn't matter. It's a break point for the side of New York A to start this match off.
Yeah, and that is perhaps a little bit unsettling if you're a Connecticut fan, losing on their speed pick, finding a little bit of awkward breaks, some strange miss aims perhaps.
Yeah, obviously the accuracy is definitely on the side of Connecticut, like 94 to average of 92 about, but it's just the combo game that they were able to pull off.
Yep, and especially with this map being so short, as you mentioned, 1 minute and 42 seconds of drain time, it's so easy for just any random odd miss aim or unfortunate break to just cause the score lead to flip. But with those accuracies being so much higher overall on the side of Connecticut, I don't think that this kind of breakpoint is going to deter them from picking speed or tapping later on. So we still should, Nomad 5 should still be on the table for them, I would imagine. It will, however, be New York's, it will be New York's pick here, however, and I would be surprised to see anything other than the hidden one.
Maybe hidden 3. They're gonna pick hidden. I have a very strong feeling they are. Yeah, I think it's just a clear answer of hidden for the side of New York. But I mean, they could have something that they just have better team scores on that they just want to get out of the way.
Yep.
Who knows?
Notably, in their previous match, Connecticut also only getting 1.8 million team score on this DT2 that they just got their point broken on. So perhaps a little bit shaky on this map in general, not quite able to find their footing. But they should be looking much better on that Nomad 5 later on, as you mentioned. Almost 2.5 million score in the match last night. It will be the Fremont 2 pick coming out for New York, though, so surprisingly not touching the hidden pool.
Yeah, I guess I do understand it. I think the hiddens are more of a slam dunk, but I think this does make sense to me. Picking the anti-mod in the pool. It's not like the craziest anti-mod ever, but it's still got precision and low AR reading. So I think that's just two things that New York is pretty good at. Even though they did ban the Hard Rock 2, they have like they usually have like one, if not two players that can play like Hard Rock. So these free mods are good because they can mix and match.
Yep. So I have two questions for you, Don. One is, are we going to see an easy mod for anyone? And two is, do you think this is perhaps New York saying, hey, we got the first break point, we have a bit of a point advantage in the match now, we're going to take a pick to sort of scout out how comfortable Connecticut are feeling on the Hard Rock? Because they do have to take one Hard Rock mod.
Yeah, I think this also does make sense in the context that they got 500k more points as well, compared between the two matches. I don't think I will see an easy on either side unless someone's feeling a lot more confident today than they were previous days, because there was not an easy in either match. Both teams did not overmod. They both had one hidden, one hard rock, one no mod as well.
Notably, it looks like Colin 3 putting up quite the strong Hard Rock performance in New York's previous match on this 830,000 score on the Hard Rock, and we will see them once again take to that Hard Rock. Geeg coming in place of Munamu on the hidden. Munamu only dropping 460k, so maybe looking to improve on that score a bit. On the side of Connecticut, we once again are, I believe once again, yes, we have the same roster as the previous match. Smile player on the Hard Rock, Ness OK on the hidden, and Shushio on the no mod. So perhaps looking for an overall improvement on everyone there.
Yeah, and as we get into the map, it is going to be an early break from Geek. There's still quite a bit of map left, and I don't think there'll be full FCs on each side. And Smile player is going to find a break as well. It's not just two FCs remaining on both sides as of right now.
Yep, and I do think we should be putting a lot of attention on Colin 3 here on this Hard Rock, putting up 800k last time, seeing if they can replicate that performance again, as they're going to miss-aim a slider head there, finding the slider break, unfortunately, but as you said, there is a lot of map left. 2 minutes and 54 seconds, so a bit on the longer side for this pool, not quite over 3 minutes, but considering how we have two DT picks that are a minute 20 seconds and a minute 42 seconds in the DT4 and DT2 slots respectively, it does definitely feel like a bit of a longer map for this pool, I would say.
Yeah, especially with it being almost twice the length, it definitely gonna be a bit of whiplash there.
Yep. 2 full combos still holding strong for Connecticut here. Nesoke on the hidden and Shushio with that Nomad FC still holding strong. Meanwhile, on the side of New York, it is just more on the Nomad FC as Column 3 was finding a couple more misaims earlier on. This map, around halfway through, there are a couple difficult patterns in terms of the space burst, but it's mostly a lot of easy aim, and then a lot of the challenge is going to come through for those modded players, as these circles are very small. The spacing, meaning these jumps are going to be quite difficult for these Hard Rock players, as Ness finds a break right before the break here. No pun intended, finally losing that accuracy as well. I believe they were holding an SS or almost an SS up until then. Now dropping to 99.3 AC. Still incredible accuracy. But it is still Shushio on the Nomad to match the FC if more. Small player matching the recovery combo of Geek, and Moore is going to break on the miss aim on one of those circular patterns. And this is looking like a strong point coming out for Connecticut. As I say that, Nesoke and Shushio are going to break, but Column 3 dropping the other recovery combo, and it is Smile player to match the combo on Geek. And as we approach the end of the map, Smile player will break, but it is simply 300,000 score difference. I don't think there's enough map left for Geek to bring this back all the way. And yeah, that score lead is just not budging.
It's just stuck at 250k, an impressive near 2 mil team score for the side of Connecticut, but still a respectable 1.7k, 7 mil for the side of New York.
Yep, and notably Nesoke looking incredibly comfortable on that hidden, only finding that, I believe it was just a miss aim or a misstack. Slider break? Okay. Yeah, it was a slider break, as they do have the S rank. But 98.69 AC, nice.
Yeah, it is going to be traded breakpoints here for New York and Connecticut. And Connecticut putting up 500,000 more score than they did in the previous match as well, with actually performing from the previous match.
Yep. Immediate Nomad 5 pick coming out from the side of Connecticut.
Makes perfect sense.
But just one more final point to touch on that free mod 2. It is just an overall team improvement. Everyone, compared to their previous match on the free mod 2, everyone pound for pound just improving their score, all 3 of those players. So very happy to see that if you're a Connecticut fan.
Yeah.
It will be the new Nomad 5 though. 233 BPM speed burst, as you can already tell just by listening to the song. You can hear the speed core going at it in your ears, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is a very, napped Nomad 5 song. Very popular for this lot. Definitely lots of speed sections, I guess. I don't know how to describe other than it's a Nomad 5 speeds a lot map.
Yep. Taking a look at the MP, last time we saw Mouse Supremacy, Mibuno Oren, and Smokey in for Connecticut. So do you think we just see the same 3-man core for them on the speed pick?
Probably, unless someone's feeling pretty off on the day. That would make sense to me. Does look like that's the same roster.
That definitely would make the most sense, as they did have that same 3-man roster playing the Nomad 5 in the previous match. Mouse Supremacy, Smokey, and Mibuno Oren.
And they got 2.4 mil, so I mean, you can't really.
Yeah.
Hard to
no changes there. Yep.
And then
over on the side of New York. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we do have more coming in instead of Hunamu.
Yep, and then other than that, the roster is staying basically the same. Deegan sleeping, rounding out that 3-man roster for New York. As this map, it puts you right into the action with this fast tapping here. And Mibuno Oren finding a miss aim on the stream early on. Into this first break, still a 3-way holding for New York, but there's a lot of combo on this map. Of course, it being a speed tapping map, going to be very dense in the combo. And also the length being 3 minutes long. Lots of room to recover the score gap that has been made here early on, as you're right into this first TI section.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this map that I haven't brought up is there are 1/3 sections that I've seen a lot of players break on, so there could be some misses on seemingly nothing on these kind of slow 1/3 sections that are going to come up after this PI.
All right, we'll definitely be on the lookout for those. Meanwhile, in this first PI section, no one finding any breaks here. Still a 3-way holding for New York and a 2-way FC for Connecticut with Mibuno on a very nice recovery combo here. And as we take stock in this first break session and look at the accuracies, Mount Supremacy holding high at 98%, followed by Smokey at a low 97. It's just Mibuno Oren dragging that accuracy down. But overall on the side of New York, fairly even across the board, around 95 and 96. A small accuracy lead potentially for the side of Connecticut, and that alone is going to be staving off this lead from growing any further. As we do see that first 1/3, everyone hitting it, no one dropping any accuracy, looking quite comfortable on that.
Yeah, I forgot it was like a single tap section. In my brain I thought it was 1/3, but getting past the section and everyone's commonly through it.
Yep, notably a couple larger act drops of Smokey finding quite a bit of 100s on that longer burst right before the Ki section here. And Smokey finding a break on a miss aim, but Mayor going to trade it out. 100,000 score lead, 100,000 score, but that is not the person we want to see breaking on the side of Connecticut.
It's only one FC though. The side of New York, yeah, he breaks.
Yeah, and that score lead should flip. Sleeping is alone here on the FC. Mount Supremacy still on that FC with Mibuno Oren on a very nice recovery. And it looks like Connecticut are looking for a repeat performance of this map, as at the last moment the score will flip to 75k in their favor. Another 2.3 million score for Connecticut. Barely enough to stave off the 2.2 million of New York.
Yeah, the side of New York, they improved their score by so much from the previous match.
Yeah, Geeg and Moore looking very comfortable. Perhaps more notably, the biggest improvement, replacing Munamu, who dropped a mere 350k on this last time. So an improvement of 300,000 score on that slot alone. Geek also improving their score by a good 150k, and Sleeping notably going from just 560k to 880k. So very big improvements from New York. Not enough to take the break point, but they're also showing they can kind of contest these speed picks from Connecticut.
I mean, they took DT too, so
Yeah, that's right. Finding a break point and keeping it close on Nomad 5. So these speed picks maybe not as free as Connecticut would have liked. It will be the Nomad 3 pick coming out from New York. So a bit of a gimmicky aim, flow alt, snap alt mix. Very difficult. Probably one of the hardest maps in the pool. What do you think about this pick from New York here?
I think if they are going to pick a Nomad, I think this makes the most sense. I think this is like suits their players really well. I think it's a decent pick at least. I mean, maybe I don't know why they haven't picked either of the hiddens yet though. That's kind of the interesting thing for me. I'm like trying to figure out when they're gonna like try and pull those out.
Yep. I don't think they're missing any of their players here, as I believe the only player not to play yet, either Munamu or New York, but Geeg, as you mentioned, one of their star hidden players, has been playing a lot of these maps so far, so...
Yeah, I will say Munamu is in for all of the hiddens. So if they don't have Munamu, then that could be part of it.
Okay, so potentially Munamu missing on the side of New York. That would be quite detrimental to their match strategy here. Will be the Nomad 3, of course, absolute banger, as we always see in these Nomad 3 slots. Kawakyo Amaku by Minami, and GLHF's finally coming out in the chat. Once again, we are going to be seeing Geeg and Sleeping rounded out by Moore on this map. For New York, on the side of Connecticut, Mibuno Oren coming in once again with Smokey and Smile player to round out the roster. And it looks like they actually had the same roster for the other alt aim control pick in the pool on the free mod 1 when they played it last time in the previous match. So this does look to just be their core of alt players. Lots of alts in this pool in particular, so very nice to see that they have 3 players comfortable on the skill set. Sleeping going to be finding an early strange miss-aim on the slider head there, but shouldn't matter too much as this is a very long map.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no FCs remaining on the side of New York, but it is gonna give an early score lead to Connecticut, but any of the breaks with recoveries, oh my god, so many breaks coming out of the beginning section. Smokey finds a break as well.
Lots of difficult aim control in these early stages of the map as Smokey finds another miss-aim there. But also, one thing to point out, just look at the accuracy difference. Actually, as I was saying that, a lot of the accuracy has recovered on the side of New York, as we are seeing that first awkward repeating slider there, no one finding a break on it, but Smokey breaking on the aim right before the start of the TI section, and it is sleeping on a very nice recovery match by Smile Player, even though Oren also found a break around the same section, so it is just these two FCs, or rather an FC and a reverse choke, going at it at the moment. Score lead still in the favor of Connecticut as Mibu finds another miss-aim on the Ki section here. But Smokey on a decent recovery, matched by Geek, and Moore has but Geek is actually going to drop as well. And as we approach the end of this first Ki section, the score is still in the favor of Connecticut here, with a slight accuracy advantage across two players, I believe. Smile Player, the only one matched by Moore at a high 95.
Yeah, the accuracy is tied closer to the combo here, so it's gonna be a bigger score difference that way.
Yep, the accuracy is certainly going to make a difference here when the combos get on the lower side, as you typically see in this map so far. We are very quickly approaching another one of those Ki sections, and do be on the lookout for that reverse slider, as we have another one right before this Ki section that can trip up a lot of players. There it is, Moore going to be miss-aiming the start bit, but Smile Player also breaking.
Yeah, he finds the break though, so it's the two recoveries on Mibu and Smokey versus the near FC of Sleeping, but Smokey drinks. Now it's just the weak recovery versus Sleeping's near FC.
Sleeping has a chain miss on the aim pattern. Mibu's also going to drop, so that's going to stop the score lead from going any more, but Smile Player and Moore on these very small recoveries as we head into this next slow section. And we really hope that all these players can hold here, as this map is going to be decided in the last quarter, it looks like.
This could definitely flip over to either side.
Yep, less than a 50,000 score lead as we head into these last aim control sections and into the final Ki. Smokey finding a miss-aim, but Sleeping as well breaking. It is all on Moore and Geek for the side of New York. And the score lead slowly, ever so slowly creeping towards the favor of New York, but Moore's going to drop as well. Sleeping drop, finding another chain miss, and Smile Player still holding on to this combo. 400 and climbing, trying to hit 500, and it is almost a million score. Smoking finding another break, but it's not going to matter as Geek's combo on the recovery is too small. He cannot match Smile Player, as Smile Player is holding on for dear life for Connecticut. Into the ending section, most of the intense parts of the map have wrapped up. I do believe there are a couple more aim patterns that might trip someone up on. Smokey finding another chain miss, but Geek's combo is down and out. 660,000 score lead in the favor of Connecticut, but this map is basically over, and Smile with a 700 combo.
Oh my gosh. It's just this ending, there's nothing. You see a lot of shakes coming up for Smile Player. Understandable, as they basically broke right in the middle, but were able to combo both ends of the map.
And as the dust settles.
Oh, it's a one slider break.
That is an incredible performance from Smile Player. One slider break right in the middle of the map, going to score cap them, but still 95% accuracy, going to mean that they put up over 500,000 score for their team. And what a carry from Smile Player. What a difference-making performance that was.
Just such a great performance from Smile Player. Even though you had the good combo and Sleeping, it's just the accuracy and the chain misses that really crippled their score.
Yep, notably, all three players 95 or higher accuracy on the side of Connecticut. Meanwhile, a couple 92s and 93s on the side of New York. And that will be a break point in the favor of Connecticut. So New York not looking so great on these first couple picks of theirs. Really going to have to try and find some footing here, maybe on one of the hidden picks later on. It will be a fast Hard Rock 3 pick coming out for Connecticut here.
Hard Rock 3.
Now, New York down 3-1 in the match so far. They really need a break point. What do you think their chances are for one on this map?
Rock 3. Now, New York got 1.5 mil team score on this. I don't think this was played in the Connecticut match. Check. No. So maybe they're looking at their team sheet versus what they got in match, and they're like, oh, we can definitely beat them here. But I do know that specifically Colon 3 on that map very much underperformed. Like he showed me his locals. He very much underperformed, and everyone on New York had a B rank on that map as well. They just kind of won by, well, pretty much.
Yeah, 125,000 score gap on that victory in their previous match. Colin 3 notably putting up only 330k score on that, so I can definitely see how that would be quite a big performance for them. This being the Major League, we do expect quite good scores on these maps. Still, the bit of the earlier now coming to the middle stages of the tournament. Quarterfinals, it's going to be a 6.2 star average for the pools. So these Major League players should still be quite comfortable. And we definitely expect something better than 300,000 on this map.
Yeah, I think you probably should be expected to get about 500k on here. If you're Colon 3, Colon 3 is pretty much the hard rock guy of New York, except for like more as well. But
yeah,
especially with that hard rock score on the anti-mod, the free mod 2 that he got later in the match, like it's very night and day between the two performances.
Yeah, definitely. Notably, Moore also putting up a solid 700k last time New York played this. So we will be seeing them once again looking for a repeat performance as New York also joins the lobby for New York. I believe their first appearance of this match, although New York themselves have been in this match the entire time.
That doesn't make life confusing at all.
Of course. No, definitely.
Yeah.
On the side of Connecticut, it will be Mouse Supremacy, Mibuno Orin, and Smile Player. Smile Player once again looking to put up a good performance on the ult, but going to find an early break on the aim control here. Not what you want to see. Mibu also going to follow it up. Meanwhile, 3FC still holding for New York. So, prospects for Breakpoint looking quite decent at the start here.
Yeah, and we, like I said, we have Colon 3 here with a 95% AC FC right now. Only person matching that AC is Smile Player with just below 96.
And Mouse Supremacy finding another miss aim on that aim control at the ending of the fast section here. Into the slow section, it is already almost 200,000 score lead for New York as they hold on to this three-way FC here. A little bit of a slower section. Colon 3 finding a miss aim though. I'm not sure what that was.
There's a slider break on nothing, and New York finds a break as well as just the FC and more versus the 3 recoveries coming out on the side of Connecticut.
Yeah, and we could be seeing the score slowly creep the way back of Connecticut here. Mouse Supremacy finding another unfortunate break, however, and that is going to slow down that progress as they trade out with, once again, with Colon 3 in New York on that last intense aim control pattern at the end of that section there. We are already halfway through the map. More still on that FC, however. 92% accuracy, so decent. Eyes on them, as well as eyes on Colon 3 with that 95% accuracy, hoping they can put up a solid recovery from here in this last KI section. As after these next 30 seconds of the map or so, there's basically no map left. That little ending section has almost no combo in it.
Yeah, it is starting to swing over though with the 2 recoveries coming through. Oh, but as Mouse Supremacy finds another break, it's a bit halted.
Oh, even Oran's also going to miss a break. And that should just be New York stabilizing their score lead. As you see the score lead once again climb back in the favor of New York. and more going to hold through that faster section. This is the end of the map, basically. There is almost no combo left. It is 200,000 score lead for New York, and I do believe this will be their break point.
Absolutely. I do think this is just going to be... It's like nothing left on the map.
Yep. And also, notably, already eclipsing their previous 1.5 million team score. A very nice 1.7 million as New York finds a chain miss on that last pattern there, but not going to matter. New York, very nice break point. And if you're a New York fan, you're going to be very happy to see that for sure, after failing to secure any of their points on their own first 2 picks in the match. Finally finding some footing here.
Yeah, there's more like it from the side of New York on that map. That's what what I think most people expected. Someone to get a pretty much FC near FC. I mean, and then also like a 500k and then a 400k out. So a lot cleaner than the previous map.
For sure. Colin finding a couple slider breaks, maybe a couple too many, than couple more than what they would expect, but only 1 miss on the map, meaning they're gonna find a solid improvement over the previous score. Maybe not as much as they would like given their locals, but still quite a good improvement from that 300k.
And it's gonna be Geek on the side of New York slamming that hidden 3 right after that map ended.
I think they smell weakness. I think they sense that Munamu just isn't here, and we're going to see that right now, if Munamu comes into the lobby for this map or not. Hidden 3, notably a bit of a toss-up pick, as a lot of people have been breaking on that Pentagon pattern early on into the map, so it's a bit of a battle of who can pull decent combo out of the intro, as most of that middle part of the map is relatively free combo. And then there's a little bit of a diff spike at the end with a square aim control pattern on the alt. And then a few more intense alt aim control patterns as well.
So we are seeing geeking more in the lobby, which, okay. I don't think we're going to be seeing Colin 3 on the lobby. I'll just say that. I know this guy. You'll want him for the hidden 3.
Yeah, there is Colin 3 saying, "Wish I played it hidden" in chat before letting New York come in.
It's going to be New York, so they probably don't have Munamu then.
Yeah,
I think New York can probably fill this, but I think it's definitely not the most comfortable fill that they could have.
So how bad is not having Munamu for New York in this match?
I think it's definitely, I mean, obviously it's a disadvantage. Munamu is usually second on most hiddens. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think Geek definitely could take that spot and be the second best scorer in the lobby, though. On the, like, not even just on the side of New York, but also just like best score in the lobby.
Yep. Notably, I do see that New York, the player, put up just under 400k score on the hidden 1 in their previous match, so not entirely foreign to the hidden pool, but perhaps showing a little bit less proficiency than their teammates, as they do find a lot of chain misses in this early section. Going to be traded out by Smile player Nesoke as Meeble Orin drops the last full combo going into this Pentagon section. Hit by Smile player Nesoke and nobody on the side of New York, actually. So Smile player and Nesoke looking to hold a little bit of extra combo above the heads of New York going into this middle section of the map.
As the score is basically even, it is going to start to swing over with that slight combo advantage on the 2 players.
Yep. And notably, very high accuracy on the side of Ness, sitting at a mid 97%. Geek finally going to eclipse that 97% threshold as well. But notably, New York, the player, sitting at a mid to high 92, with Mibu at 96 and Smile player at a mid 94, looking quite comfortable. Nesoke going to be finding a miss-aim, though, in this first Ki section, and that is to say that this map is not entirely without Venom in the middle parts of it. It is, and they are finding another under-aim. Yeah, just there are jumps here, there is some wide-angle aim, and there are some alt-aim control patterns as well. A little bit of reading requirements as well in some of these stacked doubles, so definitely some potential to break in these middle sections for these teams.
Yeah, I do think it does wind down quite a bit in this middle section. There's still plenty of patterns, plenty of weird kind of spots, and it is CS5 where it is kind of easy to find a break or a miss aim or any kind of thing like that on this kind of map.
Yep. Notably, the score finally flipping over to the side of New York as they hold 3 very nice recovery combos ever since everyone wiped on that Pentagon at the start. Smile player still holding that combo after hitting the Pentagon, and Mibu Oren likewise on the recovery. But it is still a slight combo advantage to New York as they look to expand the score lead in this final KI section. SOK going to be finding the first miss aim of this section, however, and that is not good if you're a Connecticut fan, as New York, the score lead finally, which was suppressed so long by the accuracy difference, finally going to start ballooning in their favor, as these 3 recovery combos are still holding on for the side of New York. Smile player, with that solo combo still remaining from that Pentagon, holding on, but now these sections are going to start ramping up with even more difficult aim control. Everyone hitting that one, but they're only going to ramp up from here. Square!
Double break from Geek and New York, but break for Smile player. It's just more and Mibu Oren holding the combos now.
Yeah, but it's already 100,000 score lead from in the favor of New York, and Mibu Oren finally going to break on a miss aim as well. More continuing to hold on to that combo into the ending, and there's no combo left in this map.
Yeah, this
135,000.
Has like 10 sliders.
Yep. And we saw, I believe that was a 4-way break on that square pattern earlier towards the peak of that Ki section, causing everyone to break. And then Mibu Oren finding the miss aim there at the end, just the nail in the coffin, as New York managed to consolidate their prior breakpoint on the Hard Rock 3 with a pick on the Hidden 3, and going to be tying up the match 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, New York did a really good job filling in this pick. Like,
yeah, that is a very respectable score.
Very respectable score. Even if it's the second lowest, that's still 500k. Like, that's still a great score on this really weird Hidden 3. Especially if it's not your normal slot that you are normally in for.
For sure, and just a reminder, even with Munamu last time, Munamu dropping just under 600k in the previous lobby, Geek dropping a mid 500k score as well, so somewhere in the 500k range, definitely a very respectable score coming out from New York, the player.
It's gonna be interesting to see Connecticut goes. Is there much speed left?
I don't think there's any more speed in the pools. They've already picked the DT2 No Mod 5 and the DT3 being banned out here.
The DT4. It's a finger control.
Yeah,
it's
very short.
It's very short, and I think it's closer to what like a player like Geek, like one of New York's strongest players, can play. So I think it's a scary pick compared to like the DT2, DT3, No Mod 5.
It's definitely something that, because it is only a minute 20 seconds of your aim time, it's very easy to just find a random shit miss somewhere, and then all of a sudden the pick just blows up in your face.
Absolutely.
It's going to be the DT1 though. And I believe you mentioned at the start that the DT aim mechanics were one of the strong suits for Connecticut. How are you feeling for them on this 10.3 pick?
I'm feeling pretty strong for them. I think they did put up an FC on Mass Supremacy in their match versus Washington. I think that in and of itself is like a really good reason to just pick the map if someone is able to FC it. Not that they're expected to, but just have the capacity to FC it in a match, then it seems like a good pick to me.
All right. So I do believe we saw this played one time by one of these teams this week. Yeah, so they have played it, and it looks like Mount Supremacy did put up an FC, a 94% FC in the previous match.
Yeah, and then the other two average 500k, so they were able to get basically 2 mil team score on it.
Yep, some very respectable scores. an FC plus a couple of solid supporting scores. So it seems like a fairly comfortable pick for Connecticut. We haven't seen New York play this just yet in this round, so unfortunately no data to speak of for that. But who do you think is going to be in for this New York roster? I would imagine Column 3 again for that high AR, and maybe maybe more, you think?
Yeah, Moore is a very solid player. I do think, although it could be sleeping 24/7.
Interesting. It looks like New York is also one of the Hard Rock players for New York. Of course, playing that Hard Rock 3 earlier, so maybe a bit of that high AR. Also, perhaps just high BPM in general, a bit of a comfort zone for them, as they did play that 230 BPM fast aim hit in 1 last time.
Yeah, it is going to be the same roster on the side of Connecticut, that Mouse Supremacy, Mibu, and Smile player.
All right, well, looks like the players are readying up in the lobby. GL Jeff's coming out. We should be hopping right into it soon. Of course, DT1, it is going to be that AR 10.3. Don't be fooled by that BPM, just double it. It's 256. Just under 3 minutes stream time, so a little bit on the lengthier side, but pretty standard for what you would see from a DT1, I would say. On top of that, there are some triples to look out for, some burst patterns, as well as 1/3 tapping as well. So lots of patterns to get tripped up on. But I would mainly say a lot of the difficulty on this map comes from the KI sections where it suddenly hits you with a lot of note density, as we are getting right into the first KI section here.
Yeah,
and everyone holding to that first burst.
Yeah, there was a little break from New York player, and Sleeping is also going to find a break here. Now the 3FC is just the one of Column 3, but Column 3 is holding significantly better act than the rest of the lobby. Holding right now 99% off.
Yeah, it is a very impressive performance from Column 3 so far, but we still do see a 3-way in the favor of Connecticut. So as the map continues to go on, this lead will only balloon in their favor, I would imagine. We do see some nice recoveries coming out from New York and Sleeping, however, so that could be putting a bit of a stopper on top of this incredibly high accuracy from Column 3, as we're actually seeing the score. It was teetering on the edge there for a bit, but now it's finally going back in favor of Connecticut.
Yeah, they seem to be recovering their accuracy a bit. 95, 96, 93. Starting to get back up to the better range, but it's still New York with that really good accuracy advantage.
Yep, it's still holding on to a 3-way as we go into the second KI section. We'll see if anyone gets tripped up on these little burst sections here, as a lot of this map is really just making sure you're either memorizing the burst or making sure you're quick enough and comfortable enough on AR 10.3 to react when they come to you. But Column 3 going to find a miss aim in there. That is the only FC remaining on New York. Gone, and now it is a 3-way for Connecticut as they are going to balloon this lead. New York, the player, finding another break, and this score lead is just ballooning. 100k, 200k in the favor of Connecticut as we enter this little bridge section here with the 1/3. And everyone hitting them as well, just dropping a little bit of axe to mile play, going to find a miss aim on these back and forths here. But Mibu, Oren, and Mouse Supremacy still holding on to the FCs as they enter this last KI section.
Connecticut's gearing up for an even better score than they had last match. They're already about to eclipse the 2 million mark.
Yeah, and New York finds another miss aim as we enter this last KI section, and it is almost 500,000 score in the favor of Connecticut. I think we can basically just put this one away, as barring any sort of divine intervention. Mouse Supremacy does find a break, but that is a full team wipe on the side of New York on that little awkward aim pattern here. And Mibu and Oren still holding on to this FC. 500,000 score, nearly 600,000. They will finally break right before these 1/3 at the end here, but
that's a great score from the side of Connecticut. Right under 2.4 mil is very solid and an improvement from their last.
Yeah, an incredible 1,000 combo coming out from Mouse Supremacy, with Smile player also putting up 890 combo for 650k. Sleeping, trying to match with a solid 700,000 score, but just lacking the supporting scores. Or perhaps you could even frame it as not enough of a standout performance. New York really dying on that 3-way reset at the end there as well. And that will be a point for Connecticut. If you're New York here, where do you look? Do you just go for the hidden one pick here?
I wonder. I think you have to. Yeah, they do go for it. I think you just can't potentially have a breakpoint here and have the Connecticut able to just win on their own pick. I think you need to go with the hidden one. Get your maximum comfort pick in the pool. Just use it right now. Try and stop any bleeding at all. That could happen.
Yep. Notably, New York putting up the worst score on this map in New York's last run by a significant margin, I might add. Moore and Munamu putting up about 1 million score each, and New York just under 400k. But we have seen them look quite good on the hidden today, stepping in for that hidden 3 due to Munamu's absence. So I'm definitely hoping to see a lot better score from them. And do you think it's just going to be Geeg rounding out this hidden roster?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be you put Geeg in. I wouldn't be surprised if Geeg can almost match Munamu on this. Geeg is very comfortable on these like 6.2 star hidden ones. Like, that's just kind of one of his strongest suits.
All right, just raw aim mechanics on the hidden. We'll definitely be keeping a close eye on Geeg.
Yeah,
seeing if they can hold combo.
Consistency at this SR with hidden is really good.
Lots of expectations put on Geek's shoulders to carry in the absence of Munamu. On the side of Connecticut, it looks like they did not play this map yet in this round. So what can you tell me about the Connecticut players here?
Connecticut? I think it's gonna be alright. I do think I give the edge to New York. But with how close the hidden 3 was, they do definitely have a shot.
Notably, only one repeat player from the hidden 3 coming back in for this hidden 1. It's going to be Mibuno Oren, this time accompanied by Ness Oke and Shushio. Shushio coming back in for their first time since the Fremont 2, I believe. So there's their second map in this match. Hidden 1, going to be a bit of a longer one, 4 minutes and 8 seconds of drain time here at the 230 BPM mark. So fast aim, as you can see already, plenty of overlaps, plenty of stacks, so going to be a little bit of difficulty on the hidden reading here, alongside that mechanical requirement of the high BPM aim as he finds an early, what looks to be a miss aim there.
Yeah, I just blaze this guy, and then he unfortunately finds a break at the beginning of the map, but still a lot of maps to be played.
I do want to point out, however, that New York, the player and more, sitting at very solid accuracies, high 98, finally clipping 99. As I say that, New York is going to find a miss aim here. A little bit, look like a bit of an over aim as Geek also finds a miss aim. Connecticut still holding 3 full combos. And actually, no, Mibuno Oren is scoring. Mibuno Oren!
That miss was so tragic.
Breaking right before the break. And it is going to be Shushio actually matching the accuracy of New York at a very high 98, flipping between high 98 and low 99. But yeah, still these 2 full combos on Ness and Shushio, but it is a long one. Consistency is a very important aspect on this map. We are in here for 4 whole minutes. And I didn't mention it earlier, but we do see a lot of this grid/geometric linear aim here on these patterns. A little bit of back and forths as well. Very easy to trip up these players. And Ness is actually going to find another break on the side of Connecticut, so it's just Shushio remaining with that full combo, matched by Moore, and Geek and New York putting together quite nice recoveries here. Only one match by Mibuno Oren, as that score lead should slowly shift in the favor of New York with that combo advantage now.
Okay, no breaks on the slide. I saw like map earlier had like 3 breaks on that sliding.
Oh my god, that is terrifying. That's really not what you want to see.
I think it was like everyone was so nervous.
I mean, yeah, you would definitely have to be in order to break on that slider, I feel like. Or you've just not practiced map.
Yeah. Could be that too.
Yeah. Anyway, we are getting into this last TI section. It's usually going to find a miss aim here. More still holding on to a full combo in the lobby, but it's going to be New York and Geek also finding a wipe. So the only combo remaining on the side of New York is going to be more Mibuna Orn with the recovery on the side of Connecticut and a small recovery on Ness. But I'm not sure if it's enough. And Mibuna Orn also finding a miss aim. More with the Soul FC isn't going to be enough to swing the score back in favor of New York. It barely flips over. Finally, close games here. And Connecticut was not able to. This is so close, less than 20,000 score. New York finding another break there, but more still holding on to the FC. And as Geek and New York are collapsing, more the sole shining light from New York on this hit and one pick of theirs. And I think it is going to be enough as Mibuna Orn finds another chain miss. Ness still holding on to that recovery, but it's not enough. And Shushu also dropping the smaller recovery. This score lead continues to climb in their favor. And these triangles at the end, more still holding through them. 100,000 score and climbing, and I think this is going to be New York securing their glue point here at the end, narrowly managing to pull it back here.
Yeah, more last part until the section, it's just going to keep swinging over the side of New York as Morris holding that FC. Probably about to collect. Oh, more breaks, but it's not enough time, I don't think.
Yeah, there's just no map left
more
on
an FC for it to become back. Yeah. It's 90K.
Yeah, more holding on to an incredible combo throughout. Incredible carry performance for them as Geek and New York putting up lower scores than what we saw on the side of New York last time, but in the absence of Unamu, sure, fair game. And hey, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the score difference was, a point is a point. And that is going to be New York tying things up once again, matching Connecticut's glue point with a glue point of their own. So the pick will go back to Connecticut now. And where do you think they go from here? We saw them pick the speed. We saw them pick the tapping gimmick on the Hard Rock 3 and lose it. But then we saw them pick the DT1. The DT1 I feel is sort of a bit of a one-off, as it's the only map in the pool with that AR 10.3. They might be seeing it as a sense of weakness on aim mechanics in general, but after losing the hit and one, I'm not so sure about that. Where do you think Connecticut go from here for the last pick of the match?
It's like hard for me to even like figure that out, because I think a lot of the obvious ones are gone. Because they just lost basically on aim. I wonder if they have a Nomad 2 roster. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I wonder if they do. I don't know. I don't think they do.
Well, they've definitely shown some proficiency on the tapping picks here, but both of them were close. It will actually be the Nomad 2 pick here, though.
Nomad 2, okay, yeah. I guess. I don't really think of that team as a Nomad 2 team, but obviously it is their last pick after a whole series of picks throughout the pool, so I think they definitely can pull something really good out from the side of Connecticut.
Yep. Notably, this is quite flow aim heavy.
Yeah, it's so less so about the tapping, like actually raw tapping.
Yeah, 172 BPM means it's accessible to basically everyone, other than the players who complain about how speed starts from 170. But very heavy flowing requirements, lots of big spacing, lots of I would say intense, sudden changes in the spacing as well.
Yeah,
and then of course you have lots of angle changes.
Yeah, there's a lot of excels and decels, right, in this map?
Yes, that is correct. Lots of, or not even, I wouldn't even call them acceleration and deceleration. It's more of just a sudden change. It's a discrete change. It's very sudden. It just flips the switch, and all of a sudden it goes from tiny spacing to almost entirely spaced.
Yeah. The map suddenly gains hands.
Yeah. It is a Hatsune Miku song, though. We're always happy to see some Miku around here. So players will certainly be enjoying listening to the music, even if they find some chain misses thanks to stable and note locked. We all love a little note lock here, don't we? Anyway, tell me about these rosters here. Is this basically what you would expect for Nomad 2?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like, thinking about the players in my head. Not Supremacy, Smile Player, more of the mechanics, and then Smokey. I think it's because Mibu is not as confident on these flowing picks. And then Moore has just been look solid, and then Sleeping 24/7 and Geeg were on those tapping picks earlier. So it makes sense on both sides to me.
Okay. I think Smokey also in for the speed pick earlier, so definitely one of those tapping-oriented players. Also, the Nomad 5 and the DT2, or DT2 last night. And maybe you are right into the action with a couple early misses from Sleeping Mouse Supremacy. Shouldn't matter too much, but that is going to be a chain miss at the end of that stream in the intersection for Mouse Supremacy. Matched by Sleeping once again, though, so it is just a 2v2 remaining on these full combos. And as you can see, lots of intense changes in that, in the spacing. Very intense flowing here on this map throughout. So also a little bit over 3 minutes long. Sorry, 3.5 minutes long, in fact. So a bit of a consistency element to that flowing as well. A little bit more intense than your stereotypical Astronic 2-minute Nomad 2 back from that 2021-2022 era of slot pooling.
Yeah. And Smokey's gonna find a break on like the little lane section there, and now it's just 1 FC to 2 FCs on the side of New York A.
Yeah, but we're not seeing the score budge yet. I do believe there's a slight accuracy advantage in favor of Connecticut here. As I'm looking at these numbers, actually, no, it looks like New York do have the accuracy advantage, so we should see the score lead slowly go in their favor here. Everyone hitting that slight jump there in the sudden acceleration change at the end of that section. So no one breaking there.
Yeah, it's going to be more Geek versus Smile Player right now, as there are recoveries coming through on both sides, but with these, like you said, these very fast space, or not, like these very space sections, it could be right for either team to come back. The Smokey's going to find a break before this next PI.
Yeah, notably very combo dense, so that is perhaps why we didn't see that score lead shifting too quickly, but it is finally a 150,000 score lead, slowly climbing to 200k in the favor of New York. As Small Player is going to find a chain miss on that stream, I believe the first chain miss of the map so far, everyone else just finding random misses here and there, but in this little bridge section so far, no one caught up by the 1/3. And is everyone holding combo through the section? No, Mouse Supremacy is going to break at the end, and that might just be lights out for Connecticut here.
Geek finds a break. Geek is going to
shoot it back, though.
But you need more, I don't even know if you can, more and Sleeping need to find chain misses at this point, I think.
Yeah, there's no combo remaining. I didn't even notice, but Small Player and Smokey just no combo. Smokey is going to find another chain miss on that burst going into this last TI section there, and Moore and Sleeping with these incredible combos here. 1500 on Moore, climbing to 1600. Sleeping also with a 1400 combo. Incredible performances coming out from New York here as they look to find another breakpoint. Sleeping is going to find chain miss on a stream, but that is not going to matter as they are 600k in the lead as we go into this ending section of the map. And this should just be a breakpoint for New York.
Yeah, it'll be a breakpoint for New York. It's just if Moore is able to hold that FC. Yeah, Moore is able to hold that FC. 2.1 mil team score. Very, very solid on the side of New York on this pick that isn't even theirs. I mean, at this point, I'm wondering maybe New York was going to pick this.
Yeah, it definitely looks much more like a New York pick than a Connecticut pick, given that score difference. And that is a break point for New York right before the tiebreaker. New York is at match point, ladies and gentlemen. The score is 5-4. Connecticut need a break point just to stay in the match and force tiebreaker. So whatever happens, this is the last pick of the match. New York are either going to win it right here on their own pick, or Connecticut is going to find a break point and send us to a tiebreaker. And it is a fast no mod 4 pick coming out from Geek in the chat. Typing that in very quickly.
I think
No mod
either
4.
of these
Heck.
teams have played no mod 4. Looks like neither team has.
Yeah, I'm looking through both of the lobbies and I don't see...
Nope, I don't see it.
Yep. So, what is going to be deciding this map here?
This map is pretty short, is the thing. It is 2 minutes 21 seconds rain time, but there are a lot of sections in it, especially the beginning and the ending, that are very sparse in terms of combo. So it really is going to be, can these players hit these weird sliders throughout the map? Very much a slider tech kind of. No mod 4. Gonna be maybe even a bit of like a practice difference, because some of them you have to really not really practice it, but there's a lot of weird things that trip people up in this map as well.
Yep, definitely some sliders. I know there's a circular slider where if you haven't practiced the map, then it's literally just a 50-50 on if you aim the slider the correct direction.
Yeah. Hopefully no player forgets, as it is. It is something I've seen happen, and I've probably done myself, where it's like you're so focused on the match that you completely forget what's up in the map. So we are going to go ahead and get into it.
Keegan Morton, once again, two very strong pillars for this New York team in this match so far, rounded out by Sleeping as their third on this tech map. On the side of Connecticut, it is once again going to be Mouse Supremacy and Mibuna Oren, rounded out by Smile Player. What do you think about this roster from Connecticut here?
I think it's pretty much three of the strongest players.
All right, and
like the core, I'd say, pretty much the core of this roster.
All right, Connecticut putting all their eggs in the basket of their strongest players, of their three pillars of the team. New York likewise doing so with Yi and Moore here on this final pick of the match here tonight. And as you see already, these sliders, they go crazy. No one finding any breaks yet, but it's actually more going to be breaking on the aim control there. And Geek also finding another slider break.
This is looking great for a potential breakpoint for the side of Connecticut. From the start, Geek finds another break as well.
Everyone what is going on here?
The correct way.
Smart Player finding a misaim though on that aim section, the triangle there. It is still a combo lead, however, in the favor of Connecticut. Mouse Supremacy and Mibuna Oren still holding on to those FCs. Sleeping matching one of them and more on a recovery.
The thing about Sleeping though is that he is only at 90%, so it's going to be a bit crippled in terms of what the score output can be on that FC.
Yeah, that is incredibly detrimental. Mibuna Oren also fairly low accuracy at 91%, as I think... Okay, we're back here. Mouse Supremacy, I was going to compliment their accuracy here, but their FC just collapses as they find a misaim.
Traded by Moore, and he breaks again, so it's still just that FC of Sleeping versus the FC of Mibu. And Smile Player's having a pretty nice recovery now.
But more breaks right after that sleeper. But Mibuna Oren finds a misaim, and it's all on Sleeping now to pull it back. 100,000 score gap in this last section of the map. Smile Player still has that recovery though, fighting to keep Sleeping at bay, fighting to keep Connecticut's hopes alive in this 5UC, and Sleeping breaks! And it's all on Smile Player! It's 100,000 score lead for Connecticut, and all they have to do is hold. It's the end of the map.
I'm just saying, this map is over. This is like nothing. At this point,
and after the death settles, all that remains is a combo from Smile Player, and a backing combo from Mouse Supremacy, and a 200,000 score lead in the favor of Connecticut, which means they will be finding the break point and forcing us to a tiebreaker here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it is tiebreaker time once again. We've seen it at least twice today. I don't know how many more, but time and time again, geez, what a day it has been. Once again, for the umpteenth time today, Die Reflection.
Die Reflection. I've seen a lot more Die Reflection than a lot of these maps in this pool. So many great matches today. So many matches ending in this Die Reflection tiebreaker. Specifically, that Virginia match versus SoCal. That was a great match. It was like, I believe 17k just score difference. Yep, 17k score difference on this tiebreaker. Lots of teams are very close on this. It's very, I don't want to say unique because that makes it sound bad, but it's very different than most maps in the pool. I guess it's the closest to like Glitter maybe, but it is 4.7 CS. Kind of mech tech with these kind of 90-degree dream patterns. I don't know how to describe it really, but it's
I would call them grid aim streams.
Grid aim streams, there you go. I forgot the word.
Yeah, or geometric stream patterns maybe is another one. Small player looks like they want to call a timeout so they can run to the bathroom real quick. 2-minute timeout, so they should be back in time. But yeah, will be Smile Player. It looks like Smile Player will be playing that, playing this tiebreaker for Connecticut. Otherwise, I don't think they would be asking for that timeout. Who else do you think is going to be in? Do you think it's just the same rosters that we saw in the No Mod 4?
I think probably something like that. I mean, I think there could be some changes maybe on the side of New York. I think this is more so locked in for the side of Connecticut. I think it will be Viva No Aura and Smile Player Mouse Supremacy. I think it could change more so for New York. Maybe you see Colin 3 come back in. He might be more confident on this than some of the other players. But I would imagine D probably more, at least. Probably Geek as well. I think.
I would definitely be surprised if we didn't see Egan more in the lobby for New York here.
Yeah, I think Geek is better at these tiebreaker kind of maps, I guess. I don't know.
Longer consistency.
Yeah, I said that, and then Geek had a horrible performance on Hidden One, but that's not the Geek I know.
Yeah. I mean, also, this is a very different map from Hidden One. Also, just able to play it in no mod as well. It's going to make a big difference. It's going to make a big difference. Of course, a bit more mech tech heavy than the Hidden One as well. A little bit of slider aim, slider reading section toward the end. On top of that, those geometric stream patterns. So have those to look out for as well. I think there's actually a quite decent chunk of the middle section of the map, however, where there's just like a not a lot happening. And we have seen a lot of combos just go absolutely crazy so far in that early to middle section. But we do open the map with some of those geometric stream patterns. So it is going to be a battle to see who can hold through those as well. Alright, well, it is the ref telling everyone to ready up in the lobby, and I believe we'll be heading into this shortly.
I hope someone has the Smile Player belief system, the teachings, the scripture.
What might those be?
Remember, I know part of it is just remember to always smile.
I mean, that definitely helps.
Yeah, so, it is going to be more Geek and Sleepy 24/7, the same exact... Was that the same three?
Yes, that is the exact same three who played the No Mod 4 just now for New York.
Exact same roster on Connecticut as well.
Yep. So getting right into the action, we are seeing a lot of that geometric aim as well as those geometric stream patterns, as you see on your screen right now. A couple early breaks coming out from everyone. Geeg and Smile Player, as I say that, Smile Player going to break. So now Geeg, the only one holding the FC so far. But it is still very much so the early days of this map. 5 minutes and 3 seconds long, so we are in for a barn burner of a tiebreaker here.
Absolutely.
Now, you did mention Geeg on that consistency, not showing up on the hidden one earlier, but definitely going to be keeping eyes on him, as he is looking quite comfortable so far on that consistency. It's still early days, but perhaps feeling a little bit more comfortable on this TV.
It's more like the Geeg I'm used to seeing. This is the Geeg that was very integral to the success of the previous New York 5USC rosters.
All right, well, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on them throughout this map, as it looks like everyone has pretty much stabilized. A bit larger recovery combos on the side of Morin Sleeping, as Smile Player and Mibun Orin also on recoveries a little bit smaller in Mouse Supremacy, looking to have found a break. Perhaps a bit of an unfortunate break in one of those slower sections with that 300 much smaller recovery combo. Smile Player is also going to find a chain miss on one of these streams, and Mouse Supremacy is going to follow it up. So that is an even bigger score lead in the favor of New York, although Moore is going to break on one of those aim patterns. As we are heading into the next section here with a little bit more raw geometric wide angle aim here on display. Geek still holding on to that combo and Sleeping right behind him with a very strong recovery. It is just Mibu and Orin on the side of Connecticut holding combo, and they're going to break as well. So there's no combo remaining on the side of Connecticut, and they are struggling to combo here. Mouse Supremacy finding another break. Moore finally going to trade one out, but it's not the combo you need to break, and Geek finally breaks.
Map is almost halfway over. There's a good solid 190k score difference. That's going to be a huge hurdle for the side of Connecticut to overcome. Especially if they're unable to keep up a combo, and unfortunately there hasn't been many that have gone above 300.
And meanwhile, on the side of New York, Sleeping eclipsing 1,000 combo here as we go into this next reading section, I believe. And Connecticut, as you mentioned, struggling to hold more than 300 combo. Mibu and Oren finally eclipsing that number, but they need something to happen with Sleeping, and they needed that to happen, like, now.
Yeah.
As we head into this low reading section.
Mibu drops that combo now.
Yeah, that's just a misread. That has to be a misread.
I mean, Mako, new to this team, I believe. Not too surprising to be a little shaky on this tiebreaker, but still just going to be that looming near FC of Sleeping with that 1,300 combo. As we are getting into the last third of this map.
And as we exit the slow section, Mouse Supremacy is going to break on the aim! And it's disaster for Connecticut as Sleeping continues to run away with this 1,300, now 1,400 combo. Geegan Moore also following it up with recoveries. Mibun Oren will break. Sleeping's combo finally goes down, but it is already a 300,000 score difference in the favor of New York. Smile Player desperately trying to hold off New York with the 500 combo recovery, but Moore has simply more. It is in their name, and Smile Player going to break. That might just be it for Connecticut here.
That might be it.
And as we approach the end of the map, Moore finally going to drop the recovery, but it is just a baton pass onto Geeg. Geeg also finding a miss aim, but at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it might just not matter. This is 360,000 score in the favor of New York as we are going into the ending section of the map. Nobody has any combo on the side of Connecticut. And I think that might just be it.
There's no combos. You just can't come back from this. There's not enough map left.
And Connecticut, although they put up a very solid run in this losers bracket so far, looking very comfortable in their match earlier this week, going up against New York, a team, higher seed by just one placing in the end. After some very respectable, very impressive scores coming out from Connecticut, it is simply not enough. Ladies and gentlemen, New York are your winners tonight, and they will be moving on in this losers bracket.
Going to be moving on to the semi-final stage of 5USC 2025.
Congratulations to New York. And what a score gap that is on that last map. I believe it was 1.3 million to just around 600,000 or 700,000 score. Connecticut really getting exposed on that last tiebreaker. Perhaps a little bit of depth and tournament experience lacking in the form of Mibino Oren, as you mentioned there. Mako, also known as Mako, new to the team, new to the stage.
This Connecticut team, they had 0 returning players. That's one of the main things here, is they had 0 returning players. So they're obviously, Smile player, Morgan, she's played before, but it's been none of these players have really, it's not like they're coming back after like getting a good placement or something. They're just like,
That is true.
Forming a whole new team. Well, Geeg and a lot of these players have been playing together for a while, so it could be part of the reason that helped them win that tiebreaker.
Yeah, now that you do mention it, Connecticut, a lot of their strongest players on the A team from last year moving up into USC proper. Yeah, all of them moving up, ranking up into 4th digit, playing in USC this year. But nonetheless, much congratulations to New York. Very good scores on their maps, as well as some very good break points, and then closing things out with an impressive 1.3 million score on the tiebreaker here. They will be continuing their lower bracket run, awaiting the loser of Texas A versus Florida A in the upper bracket, which I believe is happening right now at the moment. If not, it should be happening in an hour or so.
It started 23 minutes ago.
Okay, so I believe we will be going over there just after this with the raids, so stick around for that, or you can just hop over to that stream right now if you are so interested or are so inclined. But nonetheless, congratulations to New York. Very exciting match. I think it doesn't need to be said. Don, any last words you would like to round out the night for us with?
That was some pretty good cinema. That's all I'll say.
All right, cinema.
Cinema.
No words needed, just cinema. Anyway, that will be all from us tonight. I have been blessed with my co-caster Don. Congratulations very much so to New York, and commiserations, of course, to Connecticut. Thank you for playing 5USC this year within quite a good finish, I would say, despite losing all their players this year.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah,
I did pretty good.
Yep. But that will be all from us tonight. Go hop over to that A stream to watch Texas A in Florida. But that's all from us. Have a good night, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.